welcome to Rotted Reviews, and today the 2020 Advent Calendar of Christmas horror movies continues as we open that fourth little door into the 2017 movie, I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday. Written and directed by Mike Lombardo, this is available currently to stream on Amazon Prime, and according to the IMDb page, was made for approximately $10,000. And in this movie, we are introduced to a husband, wife, and young little boy as they are basically hunkered down and bunkered down because outside this bunker is some sort of apocalyptic event. Now already, my interest is piqued. I am a big fan, as I've said even just yesterday, of small, intimate, one-setting movies and one-setting plays and so on and so forth. And this isn't entirely one setting, but principally, yeah, it all takes place mostly within this bunker here. Additionally, I'm a fan of the notion of surviving and prepping and so forth. It's one of the things about the zombie apocalypse that I think interests a lot of folks is not necessarily fighting and running away from zombies as it is what would we do at the end of the world? How would we survive? How would we make our way? It kind of gets down to some basic survivalist primal instincts kind of thing. So the notion to me of this film is already somewhat interesting. And the real question is, can it carry this throughout, especially on such a tight budget? And the answer to that is, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it did. I actually liked this movie. I advocate for it. I recommend it even. But it is extraordinarily rough around the edges. And when I say I recommend it, I don't recommend it in a full blanket style. I don't say that everybody should swarm the Amazon Prime streaming options and go watch this immediately. It's not quite that. It's a little bit more nuanced than that. You see, this movie is not without sins. It's certainly not terribly well polished. It has a whole lot of faults to it. It has this recurring synth background theme that honestly could use a lot of a break and instead just kind of rely on tension building sub notes, but instead it just really doubles down on this whole synth melody thing. That gets old very quick. Additionally, all sorts of little things. The camera work, the lighting, it feels kind of amateurish. The background white noise lifts and falls with a lot of the lines spoken. Make no mistake, and I am not claiming anything to the contrary, if you run your hands across this movie, you're going to get splinters aplenty. This has so many rough edges to it. However, this movie manages to do a whole lot with very little. As far as especially when they go outside of the bunker, and spoiler alert, at some point some characters do, when they go outside of the bunker and start exploring the world, the idea of having a post-apocalyptic landscape in which you're out there scrapping and surviving and trying to find canned goods and so on, the idea of doing that for $10,000 and pulling it off remarkably well. It honestly impressed me. Not to mention the storyline itself, although yes, it does drag. When you have principally two characters in a static setting, one of them being a child with no real terrible personality to him, it's going to feel a little slow and stale, and this movie does suffer from that. But the beats that the storyline and the plot progression hit still managed to surprise the hell out of me. After the halfway mark, this movie takes a fucking turn, and I did not see it coming, and I was thrilled to be surprised on that level by something that was so low budget. So no, I'm not going to say that this is the big, extravagant Christmas horror movie thrill ride that everybody should drop everything and watch. But what I will say is, in a world filled with cinema that honestly has a whole lot of budget and not a lot of heart, I would take a movie like this over those any day of the week, where they really don't have a whole lot of material to work with, but they employ so much creativity in set design, in prop design, in really ambitious stuff that I think it's worth a nod. And that's what I'm doing here, is I'm giving this movie a soft recommendation for somebody that wants a small, intimate, rough around the edges movie and a nod to the creative nature of budget filmmaking. And so on that basis, yes, I do recommend the 2017 Christmas horror movie, I'm Dreaming of a White Doomsday. Thank you very much for joining me here today. I look forward to seeing you on my next review tomorrow. If you like this, please click like and subscribe. And remember, next time you want to watch a horror movie, first make sure that it's good and rotted.